Greetings, welcome, beautiful friend. Aaron Michael Pine here, and welcome to this episode of Ceremony, Meditation, and Magic. I am here at these beautiful botanical gardens in Christchurch, New Zealand. I just got in here to New Zealand yesterday from my 2 months travel in Bali, and I've got a month of exploration here in New Zealand. I'm so excited about before I head back to the States. So I'm hoping to get a few episodes recorded here in this beautiful country as I explore. And as I said, right now I'm in these beautiful botanical gardens in Christchurch. There's some of the most epic, beautiful trees and gardens and flowers here, and it's just so lush. And I was like, I just have to record an episode here. So I'm in front of this amazing tree right now, and there's trees all around, and you may hear some beautiful nature sounds, lots of beautiful birds singing, and there are some people walking by, so hopefully it won't interrupt too much, but I just couldn't resist. I was like, I gotta do it. So I'm sitting here in front of this tree and ready to deliver some magic here for you. So I wanted to share this special form of magic with you that's been, I'll say, expressing itself through me the last really 3 years. It's started to kind of bubble up. And this particular magic is what I've been calling, or some others call as well, light language. Light language, soul language, multi-dimensional language. It is the ability, it is the opening, it is the allowing of other dimensions of our spiritual connection, other dimensions of the spirit realm to speak through me, to express their energy, their wisdom, their context through me. Not just in human languages, not just in English, which is my my language that I know in human world, but to express other dimensions of language that to me are more, I'll say, holographic, multidimensional, sort of outside the linear time frame continuum. And when I allow them to speak through, I feel, and what I've experienced in others who've received this, is that there's healing there, there's transformation, and there's a lot of power there. So I've been incorporating this light language into both my healing sessions with my clients, when I'm guiding meditations or guiding ceremonies, and on my own ceremonies, my own magical rituals, my own magical practices by myself or with an intimate partner or a friend, whatever. I'm doing something really that I want some real power behind. This light language has been expressing and coming through in those containers, and I feel like adds just a whole nother level or another depth of power and potency and charge and amazingness, yumminess. Such good stuff comes through with this light language. So let me give you a little bit example of what I mean so that you can start to relate to it as I describe it more. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm connecting in with nature right now, these beautiful trees around me. I'm connecting with my spiritual guides and spiritual teachers, and opening my energetic communication channel to allow them to express through me. Kodiandra vatokoa liadrana bodranda sesia le sakum vranda liatatango kaliandra titai wala kundra tas avakum branur ho koyala katrindra nala tu savavandira kokandra da bako. So this light language is actually going past the conscious mind and actually speaking down to the deeper subconscious or the spiritual levels of your being that are perhaps not yet fully conscious. The other dimensions of you that are tapped in to the other realms that are perhaps somewhat or not at all, or maybe very much incorporated or embodied into your conscious human life. So as I speak to this, is actually creating a communication channel into these other dimensions of yourself and inviting them, invoking them forward, which actually stimulates healing in your body because it's bringing more life force into your physical body. So by you hearing me speak this, it's drawing forth that magic within you. And I've had people start speaking light language spontaneously as I do it. I've had people experience energy shifts, things moving in their body and opening up in their consciousness, memories come back, emotions release. So you may be feeling some of that even just by listening to this. And it begins to open up your heart again. The heart is the gateway to the other dimensions of our being. The heart is the gateway to the other dimensions of spirit. So I invite you to feel your heart and receive this information, this language into your heart. Like your heart is an ear receiving these sounds of opening up and activating the divinity that you are. And just like this amazing tree around me, right? It has all these branches going out in different directions. So does your spirit has energy and consciousness and connection to other dimensions. Each branch is like a different dimension that you're connecting into. And as I move through the light language, I'm moving through different dimensions of your being and drawing them forth into this reality, into this world. Which allows, as I said, that life force and that light and that consciousness to move through and flow into your human life, which opens up more of your power, more of your magic, more of your essence, more of your gifts, more of your truth, more of your joy, more of your passion, more of your excitement, more of your yes in your life. And breathe this in. Breathe into your body and feel it rooting down through you, down into the earth, down into your life. This is an expression, an example of light language and how I move through those different expressions of other dimensions, letting it flow through me. And you notice here that I went back and forth between English translation and then the light language or the multidimensional language. And so through practicing this so much, I can get a sense or a feeling of what's being transmitted. Although it's a condensed version, there's so much more actually happening in the multidimensional language that's beyond what I can fully express in the English language. But it gives you enough of a sample. It gives enough to your conscious mind to understand it and receive it and allow it, so that the deeper meaning and deeper energy can continue to flow and penetrate into you and activate you. It's almost a deeper reprogramming and deprogramming, clearing stuff out of your system that's been limiting those connections to those other realms. See, it's my understanding, my experience, my belief that, as I said, we are interconnected with many different dimensions: angelic, elven, fae, tree spirits, plant spirits, earth spirits, star beings, ascended masters, the divine itself. All these different realms are, like I said, branches or webs or strands of we're connected to. And by hearing this and by me invoking this, I'm tapping into those realms for myself, allowing more of those realms to move and flow through me in my life. And also by you hearing this, inspiring, reminding that connection within you. I like to describe it as your cell phone, your not your call, your contact list, right? we have these contacts, these other dimensions, and we've each sort of forgotten that or lost those connections or contacts. And what I'm doing here is sending you like a V card, right? You ever do that on your cell phone? You send a friend like the contact info for somebody you know. I'm giving you the contact info here for these other dimensions. And is my feeling, my intuition, my visions that I've had through this, that this is part of our evolution as humanity. We are evolving to reconnect with these other realms and be interconnected with them, fully alive, fully present, both in our physical human experience and in our internal meditations and spiritual experience. Is important to reconnect in all these ways, in all these dimensions. And by allowing them to come through. As I said, there's more power. It's like we're flowing with a greater entourage, a greater troop of power and energy and consciousness behind us, and not just the conscious human mind, which is only a small part of what we truly are. So I do have a upcoming class I'm releasing where I go through a variety of activations and meditations and in-depth steps on how to open this light language for you, open up your light language. We each have a unique version of that, but I want to give you here in the show some ideas around that, some concepts, and allow you to receive it and start perhaps bringing it into your life. So let me give you a little bit more backstory here on light language, because it's going to help you to start to unravel it for yourself. So light language for me started to come through first during my sessions when I do my energy healing work on clients. It started to come through just whispering. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but at first I wasn't sure what it was. But I have learned to trust what maybe comes through, what I get inspired to do or moves through me during those sessions, because everybody's unique and there's a lot of unique energies and things that need to be cleared out of everybody I work on. And when I'm in a session, right, I'm working on clearing out stuff from this lifetime, I'm clearing out stuff from other lifetimes, I'm clearing out stuff from other dimensions. These things are traumas, fears, pains, limiting patterns, viruses, manipulations, distortions, devices, all kinds of junk basically is stored in everybody's system, as well as a lot of things have been sort of shut off in our system, turned off and deactivated. So when I go into work with somebody, I am going in almost like I'm going to repair a complex computer system, right? It's got circuit boards have been messed up, things have been broken, smashed, there's viruses in there, there's other things in there that shouldn't be. And so when I'm going in the energetic matrix, as I see, there's an energetic system, I'm clearing all this stuff out and getting things structured back in the proper order so that your full life force, your multidimensional divine life force can flow through your system again. The light language adds, it's another level, another tool, another aspect of the healing. And by speaking the light language, right, as it said in the Bible, in the beginning there was sound, it's bringing sound currents, it's bringing sound energy, it's bringing sound codes into your system, into my system as I speak them, into whoever's receiving them. It's bringing codes of information and context into the energetic system that has been lost or forgotten or distorted. And so as I continue to open up my channel to bring in higher and higher light codes, higher and higher pure light codes of divine nature into the physical body, it's a resonance, it's a remembering of resonance of the truth of your being. And it's almost like hearing, right, you've probably had maybe some favorite song when you're younger, some song you used to listen to when you're younger and you haven't heard it for 10, 20 years. And then you hear it on the radio or somebody plays it. Oh yeah, I used to love that. And it just brings back maybe some good memories, some good vibes. Very similar, right? These light codes, these other languages, your soul knows. Your soul may have its own version of it, but it knows and recognizes that. And by hearing those spoken to you, hearing those being spoken again in the human world, awakens and reminds what is ancient within you. And many people tell me that when they hear that, it's like, these like ancient memories, these ancient feelings come up and it's stirred within them. And so this is like bringing back these ancient codes, this ancient magic that is available to you and reactivating it back in your system, which may cause you to speak light language. It may just reactivate other abilities, superhuman abilities, magic codes within you, and turns those back on so that you back into your fullness. Our modern human conditioning has generally kept us limited, and we're sort of operating from the small framework of what we really are. And so when you hear this light language, when you begin to open this up, it turns on many other levels, so you begin to expand back into your glory, which is infinite, eternal, magnificent, magical, and powerful. And so by hearing this light language, it brings that on here. All right, so where do all these languages come from? So just like in our human world, right, we've got people from all over the world and so many different beautiful languages, each with their own sort of form of expression, their own form of writing, or their own form of interpreting reality and expressing reality. So think of how many languages there are, right, just in the human expression. Now, from my experience, there are many dimensions of consciousness, many dimensions of spirit beings, and these are found in mythologies around the world. Pretty much all mythologies have talked about all sorts of different spiritual beings in their mythologies, their stories, and their wisdom traditions. And I've sort of put together a general guideline map that I like to use to help people navigate these different realms. And there's more in all these on my YouTube channel. You can check that out. You can go to my website, Aaron, A-A-R-O-N, Pine, P-Y-N-E.com. Then click on YouTube there, and you'll see some videos I've got coming up here talking about these different dimensions in a little more depth. But I want to give you some of the main ones here. So, not that these are necessarily better or lower, but there's sort of a general different frequency to these. And I like to think of it as radio stations, right? There's all the radio stations around us, all the Wi-Fi channels, cell phone signals, right? They're all floating around us, but there are different attunements, different frequencies that you have to tune your dial to or attune to. So what we do in meditation, what I teach, is how to attune your energy to these certain dimensions. Once you've attuned, then their wisdom, their guidance, their information can channel through you, can support you, can speak through you, can speak to you, so you can listen into that station. So some of the main ones here that are most commonly known about are the angelic realms, and this is your archangels and your guardian angels. You've got the ascended masters, which were generally beings that were incarnated as humans at some point and are now sort of these higher spiritual beings helping the earth, such as Jesus, Buddha, many of the different saints and masters from cultures all over the world. You've got spirit beings or human-like spiritual beings that were again incarnated here and are still watching over this earth. Now they could be relatives of yours that have passed on. They could be beings that you were connected to in other lives that are not incarnated right now, but they still have a human, very human-like light body, a very human-like presentation or human-like expression. There's animal spirit guides that are the essence of different animals, eagle spirit, bear spirit, crow spirit, lizard spirits. Pretty much every animal, there's spiritual form, a spirit level that we can connect with. There's the elves, which are one of my favorite, these sort of celestial, elegant, graceful beings of light that are also very tapped into nature. I feel like I'm in the realm of the elves here in New Zealand. I'm so excited to explore more of this. And the fairy realm, right, is very similar. Again, nature spirits. All of them help manage, direct, create, and manifestate the beautiful nature that we are so blessed to get to experience. Along with that, you have the dwarves, you have gnomes, brownies, elementals. There's elemental spirits like air spirits, earth spirits, fire spirits, water spirits. You have the mermaid realm, the merfolk, all the sort of sea beings, the sea folk. You have, what else? Plants, the devas, which are also sort of nature spirits. You have the deep earth spirits, so I feel like stones and tree spirits. And a lot of ancient cultures, pretty much any sort of landmass had its own spirit. Mountains, lake spirits, river spirit, just spirits over a whole general area, maybe this whole valley or this whole region spirit. And you can tell, right, every area you go to has its own sort of energy, its own sort of feeling, its own vibe. So that's the spirit, the essence of that area. There's also star races or extraterrestrials, beings that live on other planets, other spheres that are here helping humanity, helping the world. Some of the more common ones are the Pleiadians and the Arcturians, and the Lyrians. Those are some of the more common ones. So that's kind of the quick overview of some of the dimensions out there that are involved with humanity and supporting us in some way. They each sort of have their own roles, their own responsibilities, their own interest. And with that, they each have their own languages, their own frequency of light, their own way of expressing themselves, their own consciousness, their own realms. Again, just like humanity, you've got people in all different parts of the world that have their own characteristics, their own culture, their own vibe, and their own unique expression. So these dimensions have their own unique expression. And yes, there are people that channel it, and I do connect with these realms and translate into English what they're wanting to convey to us and what they can support us with. And I've also found it very helpful to convey their message in as close to their language as I can express it with my, vocal capabilities. And what's very cool with the light language, as I've opened this up more, I feel like my vocal box, my depth and breadth and range of what I can speak and what I can sing has increased. It's definitely stretched my vocal capabilities as I've opened up to these other dimensions of consciousness and brought it in. And there's definitely a process there. I had to really, and I still do have to be mindful with that, how much I speak it, making sure I have some, good herbal tea, honey, ginger, things like that to help just kind of continue to cleanse and purify my throat as it opens up to speak in these other dimensions, to allow this beautiful languages to come through. It's definitely stretched that in a beautiful way, and it's just amazing what can come through. As I said, within all this is a lot of healing and a lot of power and a lot of transformational capabilities. Now, as in alignment with the show, talking about ceremony and meditation and magic, I found speaking light language helps me with all three of those. And I want to share with you some pieces around that. So just in my day-to-day life, let's start there. Whenever I'm feeling a bit off, maybe there's a lot going on, maybe I'm stressed out, or some kind of challenge is happening, maybe I feel down or my energy's off or low or whatever. Speaking this light language for me is a powerful way to quickly and rapidly clear stuff and get back into alignment and center. And that's something I'm constantly, I'll say, reminding or activating more myself, is to remember to practice this, to bring me back into that power. So when I'm thrown off or whatever's going on, maybe I'm stressed, I just take a few moments to stop and allow this light language to come through. I feel like it opens up the feelings, the energy, whatever's sort of getting thrown off here, or whatever's being challenged or stimulated, to just be brought up, released, and cleared out of my system so that I can come back into my power. I've also found this very helpful when I'm having some sort of challenge or emotional challenges happening between myself and another person, a friend or a partner or a business relationship, anyone, to help. Again, similar thing, just clear the energy, clear any negative sort of vibes going on, and just really come back into center, come back into a deeper connection and love. It's been beautiful with my partner, where there was some times where we were having some challenges, and speaking the light language just, I feel like, kind of cut through a lot of that stuff and brought us back, helped bring us back to our heart and our center, and get to the real truth of what's really going on and connect with that light. So it's a very profound expression. It's my intention, my goal, my vision is to see people use this more and more in all areas of their life, from business to personal to their self practices, to use the light language as a deeper way to connect and open up to more possibilities, more magic in life in all ways. Now, coming into meditation, right, we usually think of meditation as this quiet thing, or maybe chanting. So this can go into the form of chanting. So there's been times where I'll just sit, get myself comfortable, get in a beautiful spot in nature if possible, and just be quiet and do some deep breathing, and then allow the light language to just express, 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever, and allow, just bring it through. And it just incredible how much it can shift my energy and open me up and get me empowered and activated, and creativity flowing, and the divine inspiration flowing. So just even going into that space and letting that speak through you and move through you, just that sound. If you've ever heard of sound healing, a lot of people do sound healing with different musical instruments. This is a whole nother dimension, a whole nother level of what's possible with sound healing, is to bring forth the sound of the other dimensions through you and let that pour and vibrate through your body. And it's just, to me, it's one of the most powerful things of just shifting and clearing things and resetting your entire system. And then that can flow into ceremony or magic. If you do any sort of ceremony yourself, with others, or magical rituals, it's a powerful way to add energy into it. Traditionally, what I'll do is say whatever invocations, prayers, incantations, magical, sayings, whatever I want to speak to in the ceremony. Again, whether it's myself or with others, what I'm calling forth, what I'm invoking, what I'm releasing, what I'm inviting into my life, I'll speak that in English, but then I'll also add a component of light language to that. So I might say, I would like to, maybe if it's a moon ceremony, I release all that was holding me back and restricting me and was old. And now I invite forth what is new into my life, what I'm expanding and growing into, and maybe I'll give specifics around that. And then I'll add in the light language. And to me, it just invokes so much more power and light and consciousness into that magical container, and it just amplifies things up for myself. And I just get so much feedback that people are like, wow, that really just brought me into alignment, and I could feel the power there, just added like if say the magic was right around, we'll put it down here so you can see on the camera, right around here, the light language just like boosted up to here, just adds a lot to it. So if the light language begins to open for you, I encourage you to play with bringing it into different areas of your life, such as the magic, the meditation, the ceremony. And I want to add on there music as well. I played guitar and some other musical instruments for many years. Never really was a singer. I tried to play around with a little bit, but never really happened. But as the light language opened for me, I was like, this is my singing. This is the singing that wants to come through me. And it just, for me, it's so juicy and powerful, especially when I combine it with, guitar or whatever else. That's where the magic, the uniqueness and the creativity just flows through me and adds to that creation. So definitely encourage you to play with it in that realm as well, when you bring this love through, when you bring this light through, when you bring this language through. So, all right, now on the next segment, I'm gonna share with you some basic practices on getting light language going, and then I'm just gonna kind of let it rip and let you just receive the light language that wants to come through in the show to activate you. All right, so go and get yourself comfortable, get in a spot where you can just really receive this, and I'll be right back with the light language section. And if you want to find out more about light language, if it's something you'd like some support on getting going, I am offering an online course, and I offer online sessions around helping you to get that activated and going through you, and even implementing it and integrating it into your life, whatever that looks like for you. So make sure to go to my website, Aaron, Aaron, Pine, Pyne.com, Aaron Pine with a Y.com, and you can connect into my light language courses there. And I look forward to playing with you and creating with you and allowing this magic to open up in your life, because there's so many possibilities. It just keeps opening up more magic in my life. I just can't, every time I get to share it, it's just so incredible. So excited to share it with you here in this episode. Thanks so much for watching, and infinite blessings to you. Stay tuned, the clip's coming up here with the light language activation for you. Blessings, my friend. All right, welcome back, my friend. This is the activation magic section of the show, this episode on light language. Thank you for being here with me. Now I'm going to guide you into a meditative space so that you can receive this light language activation. This activation is to help awaken the light language within you, and as well as help you connect more with the other dimensions. You may feel inspired to start speaking. You may feel sounds coming through you. Amazing, go for it. Allow yourself to just move with it, let it flow out of you. And if not, you might want to watch this a couple more times. What I found for some people is there's some blockages around speaking this. There can be blockages just from this lifetime, right? It seems kind of weird at first. Social norms, social acceptance, so that's one layer of it. There's also layers from other past lives and other even dimensional lives where there's sort of restrictions of allowing this to flow through. There's different oaths and depths of constriction and restriction around this, and it's actually restricting your power, your strength, your heart, your magical connection. It's restricting that magical connection that is within you. And so this invocation here is to open up that magical connection. Now, I have found a few people start to feel a little bit off from it. And while this might seem not great at first, I totally understand, it's actually a great thing. What is happening there is that some of these blocks, these restrictions are being stimulated and being released. At first, it can feel a little uncomfortable because there's generally trauma tied to it. And so if you do feel that, I really encourage you to watch this a few more times to help start cleansing this. You can also go to my website and go to my YouTube meditations, and I've got some meditations on there with light language activation. And I would watch those as well to help support the cleansing and purification out of your system. If you're really ready to go for it, check out my class where you can open this up and really cleanse all that out, because there can be some deep stuff there for some people. I had to go through it myself. I had many layers of things I had to clear to get to the place I'm at now. But it's also an amazing gift, because now I can share this with others and help you open that up a lot quicker for yourself and bring your magic forth. And that's what I'm doing this for, is because I want everybody to be activated in their full magic, because this world needs it so much. I can't do this alone. I want everybody on full power, full magic power to help transform things here. All right, so that's the intro. Let's go ahead and get into it. Get yourself in a comfortable, relaxed position. Open up, feel your body open, allow your breath to open and soften and deepen. Breathing deeply, breathing out the day, breathing out anything else going on, and just being with yourself, being with your breath. Perhaps hear the beautiful nature sounds here, the birds chirping. Feel your heart. See if you can feel the pulse of your heart. Breathing deeply into your body. And imagining your entire body breathing in air, breathing in light. And as you continue to breathe, you're allowing yourself, your body, your cells, your heart, your consciousness, your mind to be in a receptive state. Just holding that intention that you're receiving this blessing, receiving this transmission from these other realms through me to you. And it's like you get to be with an amazing friend, and you're listening to their exciting story, or they're sharing some important teachings with you, and you get to just receive here. So as you continue to breathe, I'll begin this transmission. And I'll let you know when we're finished as well. Dihia khoratu la kolien drana no tuzris ivat ulukwai khratana lo digej vadrana bokon konda katine sokulutu tu fokal drate drianda kai rakum banasa gozeliandra pakum drana nedrando kadiki zeva to chukwa ke ki halakhrandra no kwa danis epikundra da kikarada koka jeje kwa ki vedrana no drana lo kodrena ki dranda ko dranda ki tsena vadon qua dedica di indra ko patangi jo patrado ko shejo quadra ko zemana ko batana ko genere va to kondra tike ko torko je bies ko linda li kondrana va ki se kaliandra kata dos usho gaya wa ko kamba sakin he khandum ko va ta kondrana ko ke javatata le kodrana leha hi khrando bakku pakanda katize janna le totoso kolotro Tejon vadar kokai hokombala tomdo kokai komba ha omdo kokondo no dromba hombala no dosha vadura ka komba kaya la ka kokos eki genno la kotoa la katundra koko va kojejo kundrono no yoko dihra ka kumbala kodrena na kataka bohomba hamba ndondro lo komba kashishe kotana na tata Desikia yanaraka trata la cote, di hina yandra yandra coeli andala yandra toto sufa kashi, jehanala yandala coeli andra na dolokova, vesia yanakali andra no copandala tutrana vesia hana, de yanala cole andoloko coque, huaca noloco no batu se beranate, de ho no coa barando doloko Vazia, Genasi, Heonoro, Quadranako, Gerata, Kula, to Jeje, Vandali, and Dorokoa, la Quadranaka, Henara, Hoya, Koa, Hewana, Colano, Codera, Cariandrada, Kokashi, and la Covedatia, the Candolo, Copacandra, Nanoko, Ejabandara, Vandalo, Koa, Hea, and la Cataya, la Cataya, Nanoko, Hezije, Juana, Hena, Heana, Coena, Heana, Coena, Coena,
no so hena ko na kay raka yeno no ko na he mandon don dai wala kaya na ko sie wata do so ko ai la tundra na ko wa ke he wan na ko do shu na ka do za va kadra da kundra na kriza va ko te ni aki na ki na ko te ra te ki la ko te na ko ka descriving la ko te na ko ga ya ka ki a shot ko ti na ko te na ko va te ki se va do se va ka ta no ko ka sa ri na ro ko ta ro ko te ra ki ta ra ka ti ro ka na ko va se ju wan la ka ta he ka ko ta ra ka ta ro ko he ja vi na ro ko ka ja van ran no ko ina ro ko ai no ko dra na ki ka i wa ja fa ki ge ja di ki se ja ka ta na ko na ka o pa ta no ko to ko de ana no ko des I a ja va tu ku je ja wa ta na ko mbaka Nilandrando lo cua, ando levato lo cua, geando lo cua, ambaca, yanda sasiki, wanalcatrando lo cua, shishe, vianda lo cu, duanda riandrando, duania, wana, lo cua, la kia, la droto lo cua, bando, do, so, andalando, la londo, mana wala no lo ko na li avanto to skandali tata lo kondeli andala ko ve anala to randrando le honde wala ko jeva na la ko na la godrando lo ko de si ya la konde andola ko na ya na la ko de ya shu shundra da ko la landranda ve Nalandolo ko yanolo ge andolo he valendolo ko shi he wanalando tum de yavado ko anala si no loco banda wa he honde ona he shundale ando solo ko na he anala ko anala Dis as a fotokoa, koloko, de as ie, je va trataron, do kolala, no raki, se bra tutura, no raka, geje van na ko pata, kalon tota, kanda la kuke, o kanda la ku, vakranda la kialanda la katranda la hondrondo lo ku, vashkis es abatun, la katranda la ku, haya waka, javatun de hratanda la ko, tosusu kukeya, tosusu kudra, kudranda la dranda lo kumdrana le vetro tuki, jahrando lo kumbaleandala, Condra nenedisa, valako, Gesian Badaloko, Dosco, Nerakavi, Andrade Roko, Vasise, Hachia, Harhachindoroko, Hea, la Catinelia, the two, Des ich eco, Mondrono Rococa, Ges apacondum de la Granda Leondoso Vata. Take a deep breath in. And release, breathe out all that is old, all that is no longer you, all that was holding back and restricting you in any way. As you breathe in new life and new light and new consciousness back into his body. Allowing all that to settle in and penetrate and stabilize into your body, into your cells. Allowing that to stir up the ancient awakening, the ancient remembrance, the ancient truth of who you are and what is inside of you. There's so much more to you than you're consciously aware of. And this is a calling, an invocation to awaken that, stir that, and draw it forth and embody it here in your human experience. And take your time sitting with this as long as you need to. No rush in getting up. But when you are ready, take your time, slowly, gently rising. Get outside to nature if you can. Otherwise, just be with yourself and be with this energy as long as you need to allow it to settle in. Thank you again so much for tuning in and exploring ceremony, meditation, and magic with me. Again, I'm Aaron Pine, AaronPine, PYNE.com. Blessings to you. Have yourself a beautiful rest of your day.
And I hope to see you again on the next episode here of Ceremony, Meditation, and Magic. Blessings to you.